temple, now tainted by a profane darkness skittering within. The necromancer Malkaran defiles my shrine with vile corruptions.
Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is IRYENI, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 171 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting, so let's just jump straight into it. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the Dark Brotherhood Gear Retexture 2K mod. Now this mod retextures the Dark Brotherhood armor and robes in a 2K resolution. The mod author also included the texture replacement for Shadowmere's saddle. Now because of this is not compatible with the Oblivion Horses mod, because the Oblivion Horses mod makes changes to the saddle meshes. So if you do have a horse overhaul mod that changes the saddle meshes, then these two won't be compatible together. But regardless of that, I absolutely love the Dark Brotherhood gear retexture because I for one think that the Dark Brotherhood is the best guild in the entire game. You know, there's other guilds out there, like from Oblivion, I felt that the Thieves Guild was really strong, but moving into Skyrim, I didn't really think the Thieves Guild held up to, you know, the potential that Oblivion's had, but the Dark Brotherhood pretty much blew it out of the water. You know, I still think that Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood was better, but I do think that Skyrim's Dark Brotherhood did get it right, and it is one of my favorite things to do whenever I start a new character, so I do really like to focus my Dark Brotherhood characters to go, you know, all out on all the gears, you know, have a bunch of mods that give me new weapons and just ways to assassinate people, so that's kind of what I wanted to focus on at the beginning of this episode. So in order to call yourself a true assassin, I would definitely recommend getting the Dark Brotherhood gear retexture, especially the 2K version, because it just ups the textures from before. You know, the Dark Brotherhood armor that's in the vanilla game of Skyrim does look good, don't get me wrong, but there's always room for improvement. And this Dark Brotherhood gear retexture 2K mod just makes it so that you can do all of your famous killing in style. So if you're looking on starting a new assassin character and you got 74 megabytes to spare, then I definitely recommend downloading the Dark Brotherhood gear retexture 2K mod, and that's also why it's featured at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and giving this armor a try for yourself. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Sneak Tools mod. Now this mod isn't new by any means, but it went under my radar for a very long time, actually until after I made the Assassin load order video. The only reason I found out about this mod is because someone left a comment saying, why didn't you include Sneak Tools? But looking it up and then downloading it and testing it, it's become a mod that's going to be a staple mod in my load order now. A couple weeks ago I featured a mod that allows you to knock out enemies, and it was kinda clunky. You know, it worked really well and it did everything it was supposed to, but the way of knocking out enemies made it so you couldn't loot their body or anything like that, and it was just a little clunky in that sense, but this mod makes it so it's completely fixed now. The feature of the Sneak Tools mod makes it so you can sneak up behind enemies and cut their throat in an own special animation. You can also extinguish and reignite fires with water and fire arrows that have been added. You can also distract and make a trap for enemies with oil and noisemaker arrows that have been added, and also knock out enemies instead of killing them. Now it's important to note that with these new features, you cannot cut the throats or knock out essential NPCs, so the option just simply won't appear. But whenever it comes to cutting someone's throat, all you have to do is go behind the target while sneaking with a dagger or sword raised, and you'll be given the option to cut their throat. You can also knock people out by doing the same exact method, just approach from behind, but just have your fist raised instead. Like I said, there's new arrows that have been added into the game, such as water, fire, oil, and noisemakers. The water arrows allow you to extinguish fires in the game, the fire arrows allow you to start fires in the game, and also with the oil arrow you can do pretty much the same thing. It allows you to splatter oil on the floor, and then ignite it with a fire arrow or spell. And then of course you have the noisemaker arrow, which allows you to distract targets from an arrow that creates sound. The last thing that this mod adds is a new item to be found, and that's the Silent Tread boots, and these boots muffle the sound that you make and can be easily found at the start of the game. To find the boots, just go to the Riverwood Trader, and behind the counter you will find the boots. You'll just have to steal them, of course. Now, it's not an overpowered set of boots, so you don't have to worry about completely breaking your game, but with all of these new features in this Sneak Tools mod, all coming in at 5.34 megabytes, it's just a one-stop shop for everything you're gonna need for your assassin character. And putting it on top of the Dark Brotherhood Gear Retexture 2K mod, which is the mod we just covered, it'll just make for the perfect overall assassin character whenever you start a new playthrough. So although this mod isn't necessarily new and a lot of people already know about it, I did want to shine light on it for the people who have maybe never heard of it or the people who have never seen it before, like me before I made the load order video. So if you haven't already, I would strongly recommend downloading the Sneak Tools mod because it just gives you everything that you're going to need for an assassin character. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Pretty Animated Potions mod. Now there's another mod like this that's very similar that I have in all my load orders, and that's the Radiant Unique Potions and Poisons mod. But the thing about that is it makes all the potions extremely vibrant and extremely colorful, which isn't necessarily realistic, but you know, they're potions, it's not really supposed to be realistic. But if you ever wanted a mod that does the same exact thing, but doesn't necessarily overpower the potions and make them completely bright and neon colored, then the Pretty Animated Potions is definitely the mod worth checking out. This is because this is a total revamp of all the vanilla potions, and it adds about 150 models for skill potions, stronger potions, and a few others. There's so much covered with this mod, and almost every potion now has a name tag. The names on the tag slightly differ from the original names, and potions added by other mods which use the vanilla meshes will also have a tag, but it just won't have a name on it. There's also improved animations, so now the liquid looks like it's floating in different directions, and there's also a watery effect that's added with the potions as well. Now it's also important to note that the stronger the potion, the slower the animation and the intensive color. This means that weak potions have a very faint color and pretty fast animations because they're diluted, and strong potions have slower animations and more vivid colors because they're more concentrated. The glow effect is constant, means it has no pulsating effect, so you'll probably be able to see the liquid inside the bottle all the time, even when it's dark. Now all these features such as visibility and the animations, as well as the glow intensity, depend on many factors, such as the in-game time of day, the use of lighting mods and any light sources that are nearby, as well as your screen and Skyrim's overall brightness and your display settings. So there's so many factors that go into what the potions look like that it's just a very intensive mod in terms of overhauling all the potions. So if you're sick and tired of the vanilla potions, or you're tired of my load orders potions being so bright and vibrant, then the Pretty Animated Potions is definitely the immersive choice to go in between both the vanilla and my choice. And that's definitely why the Pretty Animated Potions mod comes in at our number 3 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the Red Flame Skyrim Dungeon. Now this is a cathedral that's located to the east of Castle Volokar, and it's an estimated 1 hour long lore-friendly dungeon with new weapons and spells to mess around with, a new altar for blessing vampire characters, as well as a new way to become a vampire. There's new food and cooking recipes for vampire characters, so that you can pour a bottle of blood beer at the brewery or making head cheese. Yeah, that's right, you heard me correctly, head cheese. There's also new things to read, a new dragon, and Easter eggs, that there's just so much to tackle in this new dungeon. There's also very few incompatibilities because it's kind of out in the middle of the ocean, so there's not many mods that change that area, so you won't have to worry about any conflicting mods. The only thing that you should watch out for is mods that change the Vampire Lord mesh, because this uses the vanilla one, and if you have any other ones it might have unintended effects. Now with this being a new hour-long lore-friendly dungeon, before diving in and showing you everything that it has to offer, I do want to give you guys the option to have me play this in an upcoming video. A lot of the times that I cover dungeon mods, I don't want to spoil the entire dungeon, because what's the point of going into a dungeon if it's not going to be your first time experiencing it? And for the dungeons that I cover in these top 5 mod episodes, I really want to encourage you guys to go out and try these for yourself and see if you can beat them on high difficulties, or beat them fast, or just be able to solve all the puzzles that's within them. And if you aren't interested in playing it for yourself, you'll be able to watch me play it in a separate video that you guys vote for. So like I said, if you do want to see me play this new featured dungeon, the Red Flame Skyrim dungeon, definitely let me know in the comment section below, because I do want to start doing more Let's Play videos and actually have more quest mods to come out for you. That's something that's actually been on my mind a lot recently since I've been working on the survival load order, is after the survival load order is done, I really want to move into more Let's Plays again. You know, I'll still do more load order videos of course, but I do want to add that on where I play more quest mods, because they're just so fun to play, and I really just want to get back into the way of things because I really miss doing the quest mod videos. That was one of my favorite things about reviewing a lot of the mods, was actually playing them from start to finish, especially the quest mods. Everyone that makes the quest mods is so very talented, and the mods on here are just amazing. But enough of my rambling about quest mods and dungeons. The Red Flame Skyrim dungeon is definitely a perfect dungeon to go through, especially if you're a vampire character, because there's so much that is at stake here. You know, you have a new way to become a vampire, as well as a new altar blessing for vampire characters, and many other weapons and spells to mess around with, that is just perfect for anyone that's ready to feast for blood. And that's definitely why the Red Flame Skyrim dungeon comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it and seeing if you can get through this yourself. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have an amazing mod that will never leave my load order from now on. It is the Mod Manager's Cap. Now you may be wondering, why am I not in-game right now? You know, mods are in-game, but this mod doesn't cover anything that's in-game. It's not a main menu replacer, it's not anything like that. What it does is it fixes the cap on the mods whenever it comes to looking at your library. It doesn't change the mod cap, so you can never have more than 150 still, so don't get too excited. No one's figured that out yet. But we do have a way of seeing all 150 mods in our library without the library stopping. You know, I've been making these mod videos for about 3 years or so-ish now, and every single time I have a huge load order, it is so infuriating to go through the mod list, especially on the Xbox, because you can never scroll all the way to the end. If you have 150 mods in your list, and you go to the My Library tab, you can scroll all the way to the right and you won't see all 150 of your mods for some reason. You know, for some reason there's a cap of about 80 or 90 mods that you won't be able to see. This mod simply just changes it so that you can see all 150 mods all in one row on the My Library tab. But not only does it do that, it also makes it so under the most popular section, the latest section, and all of the other sections that you could look under for new mods, it makes it so their cap is also extended. So you will no longer get to the end of the most popular tab and be like, oh, well I guess that's all the mods for today. You can actually just keep going and going and going and going. As you can see in this one here, I just keep scrolling all the way to the right and it just never stops. This will make it so building a new load order will be a lot more easier because you won't have to search for so many mods using Xbox's god-awful search tool. But that's literally all this mod does. It's a very small mod, so it fits into any load order at all, coming in at 589 bytes, which is pretty much the smallest type of mod that you can have is in bytes. So I can definitely assure you that this mod is going to stay on my load order, and I would definitely recommend downloading it and keeping it on yours, because it just makes it so that finding mods as well as installing new ones is just so much easier and user-friendly. And that's definitely why the Mod Manager Cap comes in at our number 1 spot, so I would strongly recommend downloading it. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.